Welcome to the stream here. We got a message on this thing here. Okay, so as far as we understand here, give me a second. I am going to going up here. 86, welcome in. Here is the events here. A lot of stuff happening, but here you have it. As I stated previously, the use of ballistic missiles against Al-Assad air base in western Iraq. It's getting a bit crazy here, 86. It's getting crazy, yeah. Today is a serious escalation by Iranian-backed forces that crosses a major red line set by the U.S. defense officials and the Biden administration. There will likely be a significant response to this action, but whether it will be against just Iran-backed forces in Iraq and Syria, or also the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps in Iran, is not yet known. Furthermore, on that topic there, we have it. Make no mistakes, these missiles and rockets are just being used to send a message to scare the United States. These attacks are being launched with the intent at killing many U.S. service members as they can. Now, remember yesterday I showed you a video of Iranians moving ballistic missiles throughout Iran here, and maybe see if we can actually find the video here. I might not have shared it. God damn it. But yeah. According to the Houthi source of senior Houthi officials, officials alongside two members of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps Iran were killed earlier today in a U.S. airstrikes against the missile launch site in al-Baghdad, governorate of western Yemen. And then, in other news, there was a sentence that came out. Now I have to hit right here. Major event has happened tonight in Yemen that could lead to a regional war. That is a statement by a further further developments as of on this field right now. Let me see if I can actually find who were here. Witchy, welcome in. So yeah, we're reading from Oin's Defender here. So this is the list of the topics that actually came out here today. Image from the near al-Assad air base in western Iraq showing the weapons appear to be a piece from a PAC-3 interceptor missile launched by MIM-104 Patriot surface-to-air missile battery at the base. That's a long list. Looks like the remains of a PAC missile. So that's the missile there. Now that was from Iran, right? Is that from the United States? Could be from the United States, right? And then, of course, the Houthis coming out saying that there's been U.S. airstrikes against a missile launch site in al-Baida. There might have been this one. And then U.S. information confirmed that the al-Assad airbase in western Iraq was targeted earlier today by Iranian-backed forces. So Iranian-backed forces, like very likely Houthis or Syrian or Iraqi soldiers or some, it's not soldiers, but separate terrorist groups or whatever they are, partisan groups, utilizing several theater. What is that? 30 ballistic missiles and rockets, with a majority of them being intercepted by MIM-104 patriotic surface-to-air missiles. So that's a United States missile we saw in that picture there. at the base. However, the munitions which did impact the base caused damage and injuries current with a traumatic brain injury to several U.S. service members and serious injuries to one of the Iraqi security forces. This is very serious. Yesterday, I read a tweet from also a very trustable source, by the way, Oinks Defender on Twitter. Go check him out. There was a tweet that came out and stated in the sector that Israel has told the United States that by the end of January, there will be very likely a conflict of escalation point that will lead to some kind of military escalation with the Hezbollah forces. The Hezbollah forces are not the ones we're talking about now. What's going on is going on here in Yemen. These are the Houthi forces. The ones we're talking about is here. This is in Lebanon. These are the POTUS better wake up. Yeah. Better wake your fucking ass up. But that right there is, of course, here where the Hezbollah forces are. They are quite a large force, and Israel has told the United States that they could be looking at a potential conflict with them by the end of January. So that's, if I put that into terms that you can understand, very fucking soon. Yeah. So this is not, of course, not a great time here. I'm going to see if there's anything I can get out from anything. We got Trey Yingst here. January. Well, we got Trey Yingst here 3 hours ago. All right. So we have a video here from Trey Yingst. He's in the tunnels of in Gaza probably. So in a network of tunnels underneath Khan Yushun, Israel forces took us to cells where they found DNA of hostages. Full report airs on Sunday. One of the hostages who were released during the November ceasefire confirmed she was held in a specific underground area. Here you have it.
Right now we're deep under the city of Han Yunis in a network of tunnels that has these cells the Israelis say hostages were held in. You can see a mattress on the floor in the back. There's a toilet. The Israelis say they have recovered DNA evidence, including hair and clothing items belonging to hostages that were taken into Gaza on October 7th.
Furthermore, stating on the situation here that's going on, here you have it. So President of Iran, Ibrahim Raisi, and Putin will come to Turkey for a meeting with Erdogan. That's the man out there. That's the Iranian president or leader or whatever you want to call him. That's Erdogan right there. Raisi is expected to arrive in Turkey at the end of January and Putin in February. So that's interesting. What are they going to be talking about? Being friends? I mean, Putin and Iran is very good friends lately, so very likely they're going to talk about their further development of friendship. Boris Johnson, the man who ruined Britain, has supported Donald Trump candidacy in upcoming U.S. presidential election. According to Johnson, Trump return to the White House could be exactly what the world needs, The Guardian reports. This will only happen if Trump supports Ukraine in the war, the former prime minister is sure. So, I will say Boris Johnson is a very much supporter of Ukraine, but he did ruin Britain. So, is he that great? I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, that's all we got right now. This is very serious here, but I have one better news here, and you guys are going to be ready to see this. You probably, if you've been on social media lately, you've probably seen this picture right here. But here you have it. The British Army has tested, it's successfully tested, by the way, its new Dragonfire laser weapon. More and more direct energy weapons will be coming online in the next few years. Holy shit. This right here is Britain, right? And the funny thing is, we showed the clip of like the Galactic Empire. You remember the Death Star from Star Wars? This right here is why Britain is gonna bring back the old Empire, right? for the Empire. the goddamn galactic superstar. There's all of a sudden they're gonna build a goddamn Death Star. That's what I'm saying. They're gonna build a goddamn Death Star soon. God damn, that's impressive though. keeping you online with all what's going on here. The risk of war with North Korea is rising, according to researchers Robert Carlin and Sigrid Hecker. Like his grandfather in 1950, Kim Jong-un has made a strategic decision to go to war. In several recent speeches, he has made it clear that the weapon of choice to destroy the U.S. and its allies will be his cherished sword. That is his growing arsenal of nuclear weapons, the publication noted. So his cherished sword, of course, is what the only thing that makes North Korea a real threat in terms of any sort of threat is, of course, it's large army, but also it's our nuclear arsenal. Now, they don't have a lot of nuclear weapons. If we're talking in the lines of not maybe 10, 9, something like that. But what we are certainly aware of is but North Korea is certainly on the warpath. So this is not a great time for anybody, really. But we are certainly not happy about that. There's, of course, Nordic Waste, yeah. Massive demonstrations in Hamburg against Putin's puppets in Germany. Look at that. Germany is not going back. They're like, we're not going back. We're not that country anymore. We're not going back. God damn, that's a lot of people. Holy shit, goes all the way down there. There's a lot of people. Germany is not going back to liking Russia. But also, by the way, they did not like Russia in World War II, so, well, they liked them in the start, didn't they? Oh yeah, by the way, I just heard about this, and I just want to say this is quite a serious note here, but I will say this, because I did hear about this earlier as well. The Russian parliament representative in Vinnytsia, what's the, what do you say that? Vinnytsia? I don't know. Commented on the IAEA report about mines found around Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant. This is a normal means of protecting the plant from attacks. Mines around the perimeter of ZNPP are dangerous only for rats, crows, and saboteurs, he said. This right here is a recent statement from the IAEA, the chief of the IAEA or whatever. I think it was the chief of the mission in the IAEA, the people who were there, because there are IAEA inspectors at the plant to keep the plant, you know, how you say, going. And well, they've recently put out a statement that they have now found mines. So last time, everyone said that they found no mines. Now, funnily enough, the IAEA said that the mines they found the last time has been put back. So last time they told us there were no mines. Now they're telling us, and this is not from me, this is a statement from the chief of IAEA. He said, the mines we found last time has been put back. He literally lied. He said, now the mines we found last time has been put back. So what, did you find a mine last time or did you not, you fucking morons? I mean, really, right? Winston Churchill's dentures will be auctioned in the UK. I can't pronounce that. I know what a word is, but you know, in a gold frame estimated around 5,000 to 8,000 pounds. In addition to the dentures, the auction will also include a microphone in which Winston Churchill announced the end of World War II. Oh, that one. 5,000 pounds for the teeth of Winston Churchill. Yeah. I mean, I just don't know if I would like to own his teeth. You know, like to own his teeth. You know? Eugh, kind of disgusting. U.S. Central Command announced earlier today that they launched another primitive airstrike this morning in western Yemen against the Houthis' anti-ship ballistic missile launcher. This was preparing to target several possible ships in the Gulf of Aden. Doing again. Slovak culture minister reversed the ban on working with Russia, Belarus. Slovakian new culture minister Martina, I'm not going to try and pronounce that, has reversed a ban on cooperating with Belarus and Russia. Slovakian publication provided a report on January the 20th, citing leaked documents that the minister issued ban on communicating and cooperating with both countries a week after the Russian full-scale invasion of Ukraine began on February 24, 2022. This did not affect the performers of Russia as artists or organizations that spoke out against the war. So apparently now, so he says that they have reversed the ban on working with Belarus. Reverses the ban. Reverses the ban means they're not doing it, right? That's not good. Not a great time. I'll tell you what. Reverses the ban on it. Fucking, can you fuck off, right? I mean, that's, and by the way, you said Martina, and then I said, I try and pronounce that, Simkovichkava, or something like that, with all those fucking weird letters. Like, who knows that? Unless you know and heard the name pronounced by a fucking person who speaks the language, I'm not gonna know how to pronounce that. All right, let's check out if he does not. The armed forces of Ukraine began installing anti-drone electronic warfare systems on Bradleys. Oh, look at that. Is that really what that is? Is that really what that is? To me, it kind of just looks like a guy sticking his head up with some kind of things on it. But I guess, what else would it be, right? I mean, what else would it be? Obviously, they know it's that concrete blocks right there. That's concrete blocks, by the way. I think that is concrete blocks they keep putting on their tanks. These are Bradleys, by the way. Not tanks, obviously, but that one. Maybe it's that one. It doesn't look like that one. The drones just crash. Well, I think that the drones get jammed. The drone gets jammed between the operator and the drone. There's obviously a signal. That signal gets jammed, so the operator can't use the drone, and the drone just sort of flies off or goes somewhere. It doesn't necessarily fly or stop. It's not like an EMP, but it cuts the signal between the operator and the drone chauffeur, and sort of puts that out of action and makes the drone probably just fall somewhere, or so it's a good system. It really is. If it can't work really good, I'd say good luck on that one. There has been, and I do repeat this, and I've told you this before. If you're just coming in, U.S. personnel, United States of America, United States of fucking A. Oh no, sorry, has been injured. Okay. You know what time it is. You know what time it is. Remember, do not scare. You know what time it is. You know what time it is. United States personnel has been attacked. You know what fucking time it is. Ooh. The United States says they're gonna respond. They don't know what they're gonna respond with. Joe Biden hasn't woken up yet because he doesn't need to. They just respond with whatever they got. God damn it. No, but seriously, I mean, that's cool, right? But seriously, it's about time to pull out those goddamn guys out the goddamn Middle East. And I'm telling you right now, I'm telling you right now, I'm not a big supporter of the whole idea of having soldiers in the Middle East. The factor is you're putting young people live at risk for the essentiality of fighting against a bunch of people. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say that, these people aren't terrible people, but I say it would be much better for the United States to keep their naval force near the Middle East. Keep your naval force near the Middle East. You can keep your naval force, but stop having ground forces. You have naval forces. Naval forces can have, planes and everything that you can have. Scale back the ground forces. There's no need anymore to have ground forces on the ground. We've come so far in terms of rocket science and plane technology that why are you having troop numbers and people on the ground. It doesn't, you say it brings, it brings sort of a strong image, but in reality, nobody doubts the fact that the United States have a strong army. Okay, nobody doubts that. So keeping soldiers on the ground is only a further risk. They should really get out of the Middle East. At least ground troops should get out of the Middle East. Personally, I don't think they should be in the Middle East in the first place, but I do say they should start pulling out those goddamn ground troops, because it doesn't really, it makes no sense having them. We've come far in terms of autonomous warfare that it doesn't really need to risk human lives. Now, I know it's double-sided. Saying that, because then it also means that now we're fighting with planes against people on the ground with less technology, and it's sort of, that's not, and that's not really the greatest thing. Sort of fighting against, you're using your technology, your superior technology, but whatever. Rolling out Putin's youngest double for shirtless appearance is getting hilarious. Anyone that believes this is Putin is smoking something. I would say looks like Putin. But yeah. I don't know. That's Putin there for you. Wow. Such a religious man. I tell you what, that guy is just religious. He believes in... Shut the fuck up. Timeline of the United States strikes in... I'm not going to read that. God damn it. But we're definitely looking... It's looking like we're heading into a war of regional conflict. I'm not going to lie to you guys. The reason why I'm saying pull out the ground forces in the Middle East is because... Think about what's happening right now. We're going to be conflicted in a massive ground war. If this war heads towards a point where it's a regional war, you are putting U.S. personnel lives, right? I mean, we're talking U.S. personnel, U.S. soldiers on the ground in the Middle East having no chance in fighting off the massive amount of terrorists that wants them out. I mean, you're putting people's lives at risk in that point. So I would pull them out. It sounds double-sided because I know that, because then it's like, what? Well, but then we're going to fight against the Middle Eastern people, but we shouldn't fight in the first place. We shouldn't have to war in the first place. I agree. I'm not much for a war. I don't like wars. I mean, nobody likes fucking wars. I mean, if you think war's a good goddamn thing, you're a bit of a psycho, aren't you? Yeah. Oh. Right. Yeah, 2 American soldiers suffered traumatic brain injury. Oh my god. Can't believe it. Look at that. The president of Switzerland wants to invite Russia to a global peace summit. Viola Amhed said the planned global summit on the peace formula proposed by Ukraine is unlikely to become a real peace conference if Russia is not present at it. The president also hinted that Switzerland is in the contact with Russia. Switzerland talks to everyone. In the last few days, it has been told several times how important it is and how happy everyone is that someone can talk to everyone. The channels of communication exist. Well, listen, Switzerland has always been a very sort of neutral country in a sense of not supporting them with direct military aid. And I do respect the fact that we have a neutral country that isn't, sort of going out on a limb trying to kill everyone. So, I mean, it's not bad, right? We remind the Switzerland agreed on to organize the summit at the request of Ukraine, which both states announced on Monday, January the 15th, during the visit of Vladimir Zelensky to Bern. Now, if you want a peace summit, now I understand that you don't want Putin or Russia there. I understand that. But I will say, if it's about peace talks between the two countries, then I understand inviting Russia. Because if it's a peace talk, which it's not going to be, by the way, because they're not going to hold any peace talks. But I don't know. It's like a double-sided thing. Of course, I don't think Russia and peace, they don't fit together, you know. Russia, peace, they don't fit together, do they? I mean, we never had Russia and peace together. The U.S. announces that 2 American... Oh, okay, really, there we go. Again, other news. Same time. The Russians focused on the assault on Avdiivka and Novy something attack almost without the use of equipment. This was reported by the spokesman. Look at that sentence right there. Look at that sentence. The Russians focused assault on Avdiivka and Novo, whatever that is. I'm not going to try and pronounce that. I think it's in Donetsk region, attacking almost without use of equipment. That sentence right there, attacking almost without the use of equipment. I mean, this is something that we saw doing, the Red Army in 1940, This is the time when they were attacking with one fucking rifle and the other guy with an ammo belt. They during the Second World War, the Russians or the Soviets they gave one guy a gun and the other guy they gave him a bullets. So one Russian soldier didn't even have a fucking gun because they didn't have enough guns for that. But yeah, I mean it's sort of looking like the same. If you're attacking with equipment, that's signs of lacking equipment. It's reported by the spokesperson of the United Press Center of Defense Forces of Tver region, Colonel Alexander Schutzpun. He noted that the Russian military did not launch a single airstrike yesterday, but launched 3 missile strikes from the S-300 MLRS in the Donetsk region and continued to actively use artillery. Before that, the Russian activity have been using aviation for a week. Could they be running dry on rockets is my question to you guys, and I think they are. I also think they're running dry on tanks. I think they're running dry on most equipment. People are still doubting the factor if they really are, if they are not. I'll tell you this now, they are. If the Russians are beginning to attack without the fucking means of equipment like you usually fucking have, that means that Russia is running on a fucking thin line of not having a lot of equipment left. Here, check it out. 375,000 soldiers right now. That's a milestone right there. 750 troops today. 11,000. Look at that. Fuel tanks and vehicles, 11,000 APVs, 10 APVs today, and 17 vehicles today. Look how little tanks are destroyed. Because they don't put a lot of tanks into action anymore. The 4 tanks, guys. 4 artillery systems, 5 UAVs, 1 MRS, 5 special equipment. It's funny that they noted yesterday the Russians used an MRS S-300 probably, and now there's an S-300 missing, or an MLRS. So it's very likely that the Ukrainians got the position of said MLRS and actually destroyed it. But yeah, and 5 special equipment, so it is really good. I mean, listen, be honest with yourself here, and I'm going to be honest with you. Russia is not winning in any sector, okay? They're losing equipment, and they're making their soldiers attack without a fucking equipment. But I won't dislike the factor that Ukraine is also at its peak of things. I mean, Ukraine definitely needs more equipment, and if we have Russia on its ropes now, okay, I'm just gonna tell you this: we have Russia on its ropes now. We go all in now. We'll win. It's like you're playing fucking poker or you're playing something, right? You're playing bets. You're betting on the situation. You go in now, you go in now, and you're done. Okay? You go in now, you bet it all, you go all in, you win against Russia. Going to Moldova. 86. I think Putin is not going to try and mess around with 90,000 soldiers. Listen, Putin is not going to try and mess around with 19,000 NATO-trained soldiers, okay? Putin is not going to do shit about it. He's going to say it's a red line, but it's going to be one of those red lines that we're going to cross and nothing is going to happen. Trust me, that's usually how things happen. I mean, you have to put it into perspective that Russia is not going to mess around with NATO. You know, people keep saying, listen, hey, Russia's going to attack us very soon, the next 20 years, and Russia's going to do that and that and that. Well, Russia's not going to attack you, okay? It'll take years before Russia has anything in sorts of the equipment they used to have. It will take fucking ages before Russia has anything in terms of equipment or manpower enough or good enough trained soldiers to fight anything, you know? So we're not going to see a war in the next year or after that, you know? You hate that phrase? Well, it's the phrase that he's going to use, which you know it. He's going to use red line, you know. Oh, look at that. Thailand discovers nearly 50 million tons of lithium. Well, that is just great, isn't that? That's a lot of lithium. Lithium is the one we use to build batteries out of, things like electric cars and stuff like it's built out of that. Representatives oh my god, of Ukraine and the United States conduct the first joint inspection of weapons provided by American partners, the defense minister of Ukraine. Ukraine and the American inspectors checked 3 main items: serial numbers, technical conditions, proper storage conditions, safety, and security. The information is currently being processed. There were no comments from the U.S. representatives doing the joint work. There you have it. Minus 45 degrees, or between minus 45 degrees and plus 75 degrees. And if you go above or below that, they're gonna either explode or explode. God damn, that's a... The president's national security aide said in private meeting this week that Russia could win the war within weeks if Congress doesn't act. What? Oh, look at that. The president's national security aide said in private meeting this week that Russia could win the war within weeks if Congress doesn't act. The NBC News. Credible start. Biden aides give lawmakers grim assessment of Ukraine without more aid. The President's National Security Aide's private meeting this week that Russia could win a war within weeks if Congress doesn't act. I still find it incredible that that's something they think is true, because in all reality, I don't think so. But I do note the fact that I keep saying it, guys. If you go all in now, if the whole world, the whole NATO, go all in on this situation right now with Ukraine, we could win 100%. Russia's beaten. Russia has been beaten. No matter how you look at it, Russia has been beaten. Okay. You go all in now, right? They gotta just shut the fuck up and go all in, and the world would be a much better place. Put Russia back in its place, and the whole world's gonna be a much better place. Now, I do see movement of some Russian soldiers here, and it is certainly something we have to worry about here. They are putting a lot of effort into taking Avdiivka again, or at least trying to get around here. They're trying to been doing some kind of blitzkrieg movement, but look at that. They made movements over here and over here, They're trying to meet in the middle here, as you can see. Trying to push in here. They're on the wall side here. That's definitely... This area right here, I am willing to bet to you right now that this area right here is probably the most intense area of the war right now. That, and that. All these areas where you see these sort of envelopments or stuff like that, this area right here is the most intense area of the war. This is where most people die. This is where the most equipment go fucking lost. This is the most intense areas of the war. There's no doubt about it. The Avdiivka siege is certainly the most intense side of the war we've seen in a long time. I'm willing to bet that at least 50,000 Russian soldiers or above that has been lost trying to take Avdiivka. And I bet, much more, actually. Maybe 100,000. I don't know. It's certainly up there. I mean, this is also quite an intense area here, down towards the Zaporizhia direction in the well, that's what's that called? That's called the I gotta remember all these cities right now. Donetsk area as well. Well, that's Donetsk. That's Luhansk. That's Luhansk. That's Luhansk. No, that's Luhansk. That's Kharkiv. No, that's Kharkiv. God damn it. Gotta remember all these things again. Well, that won't help me. This one will not help me a lot. Oh, my bad. I gotta go on a... Wait, listen. I gotta remember all these things because I keep forgetting all the... Well, it doesn't really matter. I just want to get it right. Where is the situation line there, isn't it? Oh, yeah, it's in the Mariupol. It's in the Zaporizhia, Donetsk, Luhansk. Yeah, it's the Donetsk area, and the other one's in the Luhansk area. Gotta keep remembering that one. But yeah, this is this is ZNPP right here. That's ZNPP. There haven't been any troop movements around there, but this is ZNPP, the nuclear power plant that they've been talking about recently. Mines have been put back in place in the ZNPP again, by the way. Just want to say that. If you're wanting to check out these guys, the link is in the description. Live from Iceland here. This is Iceland. This is a area here where there's actually an active volcano eruption. Not really a volcano, but it's like lava, magma coming up from the ground. It's a very tense situation here. This whole city called Grandavik has been evacuated in Iceland here. This area is very closely monitored by everyone right now, so we're keeping an eye on it as well. This is from Ukraine. This right here is called, this guy right here is called TV Trisinkia or something like that. So yeah, this is Ukraine. If you're going to check out those guys, there guys in the channel. I'm going to check that out. The front line, I mean, if you go to Ukraine right now and you go down towards the Andavika direction, you could imagine, like, if you saw scenes from, you know, World War One, like that's exactly how it looks like. I mean, most of Ukraine right now is a very pothole-filled area. I mean, the terrain of Ukraine is incredibly filled with potholes. I will tell you that they are incredibly filled with potholes. It is not a great time for the land of Ukraine. Ukraine is probably down $1 trillion when you look at the sort of, there's a thing called what's it, like geo-sionist or Zionist, or you know, sort of a sort of killing the land, you know, sort of there's genocide, and then there's, you know, geo-genocide, which is like geographic genocide, meaning that you've pretty much killed the land of Ukraine. That's pretty much what's happening in Ukraine. Not only is Russia killing people, but they're killing the land. That very lush land, by the way. I mean, Ukraine was one of the biggest exporters of corn and grain and all that stuff in the world. But the land of Ukraine has become very, very pot-filled and filled with, you know, it's fire and all kinds of things. The ground has become very, very bad because of all this war, of course, and the smoke in the air, and you know, it's not a great time. There's a winter right now. Very intense winter, by the way. So, you know, but a genocide is what they call it, I think. But yeah. Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania will build a line of defense against Russia. Estonia will create a border of 6,000... Sorry, 1 second. Will create a border of 6,600 concrete bunkers. The defense minister of the three countries signed a memorandum on the joint use of HIMARS on one of Latvia's air bases for air defense needs. They are certainly worrying about it, but I don't. Still, I mean, I'm not. You know, listen here. I could be wrong. I mean, but if Biden is saying this war could be over in weeks, I don't know. I seriously doubt it. I'm really telling you right now. I seriously doubt it. Because I'm looking at the numbers, I'm looking at things coming out, you know, and if people put it together, Europe is still very much behind Ukraine. There's only a few countries in Ukraine that's not behind it. So, I mean, Europe's response has been weak as shit, and I will tell you that. But, you know, I will also say, listen, if seriously, I doubt that we're going to let them lose. But I know what you're saying. It is not a great time. We'll have to see, right? We'll have to wait and see. I doubt it, but we'll have to wait and see. I mean, it's not, you know, it is not unlikely, and as well as it's not unlikely, it's very likely to something to happen there, but we'll see, right? God damn. News from Putin's dog. I will block Ukraine's membership in NATO to the last, as it would mean beginning of the Third World War. Prime Minister of Slovakia, Fico. Right. Slovakia Prime Minister, by the way, also very much a C follower. Look at that. Set follower, by the way. Right? So he wants to block Ukraine membership and EU membership. So here's what I say. Kick them out. I mean, listen, we can either have Ukraine or Slovakia. And I'll be honest with you, Ukraine has battlefield experience. It is one of the most intense and best armies that we have in the world right now because of the pure experience they have. Slovakia has a couple thousand soldiers and shit equipment from the Soviet Union. Let's be honest. Seriously, who do you think we're gonna benefit the most from? Slovakia or fucking Ukraine? If Ukraine won, it would become one of the best armies in the world, most experienced army. It's trying to build itself into a arms production world of just pure production. It would become a powerful country very shortly because of the experience and the knowledge they have of equipment. So seriously, if you were to pick a country you wanted in NATO instead of Slovakia, I'd pick out Slovakia and put Ukraine in 100%. I would. Fuck Slovakia. I mean, not the people, right? I mean, you know, but this is a small fucking country right there. You can have that or you can have that. Fuck that. Thank you very much. Okay? You know, let's just be honest with each other. I'm not going to sit here and say the Slovakian people's anything wrong with the Slovakian people. No, but there's something wrong with the leadership. Yes. Yeah, we could kick out Turkey as well. I wouldn't want Turkey as well. Tell you what we should do. We kick out Turkey, right? And we get Moldova. No. Moldova is an equal match to Turkey. No, it's probably not. But I tell you what, we need Moldova as well. Moldova is very likely going to be in the EU and NATO. That's a thing we should focus on. What baffles me is the fact that we haven't gotten Moldova into the EU or NATO yet. It's seriously, it's stupid, because think about it. If Ukraine were to lose and this country would be targeted, take Moldova into NATO. Seriously, you know, it's now or never. You know, I mean, it baffles me that we have taken fucking Luxembourg, this fucking country right here, right? It's the world's small. It's not the world's smallest, but it's one of the world's smallest countries in the fucking world, and you have taken that country right there as in NATO. So why not why aren't we taking, you know, Moldova? Seriously, it's now or never, right? I mean, if you take Moldova, it's a fucking checkmate. You take Moldova into EU and NATO. You go all in on Ukraine. You win in Ukraine, and you've defeated Russia for the foreseeable fucking future. It's a fucking easy thing. I mean, it's really fucking easy. It's not easy, but it's like process-wise, it's very easy. You know, I think we're making it harder than it is. You can always make money. Listen, that's the thing. The Europeans seem to think they can't make money anymore. You can always make money. You can always make more money, but you can't get human lives back. Okay? Then they say to me, "Oh yeah, but we can just have new children." That's 18 years you have to wait for that child to be able to fight in the goddamn war. That's not gonna fucking happen. You think this war is gonna go on for 18 years? That's not gonna fucking happen. You can't get the lives back. You can't get human lives back. You can't get money back. You can always make more fucking money. There's always gonna be more money. Cannot get human lives back. It's fucking ridiculous. What would you rather want? You want your fucking children to go to war? Okay, sure, go ahead. Send your fucking children to war. I don't care. All these people complaining about us supporting Ukraine in the EU. What do you want to do? You want to send your fucking children to war? Go ahead, send your children to war. You know, cry about it. No, you can't do shit, because if you wanted to, you supported Ukraine now. You know, we are internal debt to Ukraine. Ukraine is defending us. They're not just defending themselves. They're defending fucking the whole entire existence of fucking European Union and NATO. So stop fucking complaining and do some shit about it. It's fucking ridiculous. Come on. I mean, it's so fucking ridiculous. It's so fucking ridiculous. I get mad every time I think about it, and it's ridiculous for me. I get mad really every time I think about it. Began in 1992 when Moldova joined the North Atlantic Cooperation Council, enshrined in its constitution that there are no official plans for Moldova to join the organization. Thanks, Google. Yeah. And I tell you what, it's fucking ridiculous. It's 1992. They were sworn in to our council, but they still haven't been part of our. They say like, oh, because they don't have a great army. It doesn't fucking matter if they don't have a great army. It doesn't matter. That's not the point. The point is, not only are we going to support the Moldovan economy by getting them into Europe, because the Moldovan economy is fucking shit. Okay, I'm not going to sit here and go around it. The Moldovan economy is fucking shit. But it's not a bad country per se. It has a shit economy, but it's not that much of a shit country when you think, you know, there's obviously crime and everybody has crime. But listen, it's a country we need in NATO and in the EU. If you wanted to protect the people of this country right here, all you need to do is get them into NATO. It won't make that big of a difference. And by the way, you can station NATO soldiers here now, right? You can station NATO soldiers here. You can drive things through it. You can get things to Ukraine. You can do everything there. It's a win-win. But the factor is, we have stupid fucking politicians that don't know how to fucking do business anymore. There's the stupid fucking politicians that don't know how to do fucking business anymore or do shit. They don't know how to do fucking shit. You know, it's like fucking checkmate. You fucking get Moldova into NATO and it's fucking checkmate, right? You go all in Ukraine, but they don't know how to do fucking shit anymore. They're cowards. They're fucking cowards. Tell you what, the old kings, right? They would be fucking ashamed. The old kings of Europe, the kings who defended our countries for thousands of fucking years, they would be ashamed of us. As I tell you what, they would, right? They would be fucking ashamed of us. Anyways, see, you always get me up routed. Let's see. Oh yeah, here we have it. I think. Yeah, let's get it out. Here, you guys. We'll take a short minute talking break here. Ukraine appealed for the EU membership on March. Moldovan Prime Minister now said that Moldova wants to join, but not NATO. Yeah, but the factor is, Natalie, whatever her name is, it doesn't really fucking matter. She needs to join NATO, and I would force it. I would force them to join NATO. I would force them. I mean, listen, you persuade them enough, they're gonna be in NATO. Let's start with the EU. Let's start with EU membership, sure. But you persuade them enough, they want to be in NATO. You know, come on. Listen, anyways, we're gonna watch Zelensky here. 3 minutes. If you don't want to watch Zelensky, that's up to you. Come back in 3 minutes and 40 seconds.
Бажаю здоров'я, шановні українці, українки. Кілька речей за цей день. Вже проводжу наради щодо наступного тижня наших міжнародних заходів, які ми плануємо. Це стосується і відносин з партнерами в Європі, у Євросоюзі. Додамо активності. А також це стосується безпекових гарантій для України. Готуємо нові угоди з партнерами, сильні двосторонні угоди. Січень та лютий мають принести відповідні результати. Вже бачимо конкретні дати, коли можуть бути нові і сильні документи. Я вдячний усій нашій команді, яка залучена до перемовин. Усім тим лідерам, тим державам, які готові до дійсно амбітних рішень. Всією архітектурою безпекових гарантій, новою архітектурою ми фактично повертаємо до життя, реанімуємо систему міжнародного права. І коли для України буде повернута справедливість, коли наша безпека буде відновлена, це і для інших у світі працюватиме. Готуємо подальшу роботу з ключовими нашими партнерами щодо конкретної оборонної підтримки вже зараз, цими тижнями і місяцями. Будуть нові оборонні пакети. Я вдячний усім друзям України у світі, хто розуміє, що поле бою не може просто зачекати і що порятунок життів не може бути відкладеним. І усім, хто намагається пришвидшити рішення, які потрібні саме зараз. Лише протягом однієї минулої доби на фронті відбулось більше сотні бойових зіткнень, інтенсивних боїв. Найбільш жорстко в Авдіївці, Мар'їнський напрямок, Красногорівка, Лиманський напрямок, Сіверський напрямок, Куп'янський напрямок, наш Херсонський напрямок в Кринках, наша стійкість зараз, знищення ворога зараз критично важливі. У Росії не має бути ілюзій, нібито їй щось вдасться. Я дякую кожному нашому воїну, усім в Україні, хто б'ється зараз, хто працює зараз, хто допомагає, щоб наш народ, наша держава могли виграти цей рік. Особливо я хочу відзначити сьогодні наших воїнів, які б'ються на півдні. Зокрема, старший солдат Сергій Філоненко, 123-я окрема бригада ТРО. Дякую за хоробрість. Головний сержант роти логістики 124-ї бригади тероборони Андрій Сучок. Дякую за значні бойові результати на Херсонщині. Солдат Олександр Плахотнюк, 38-й зенітний ракетний полк, дякую за влучність при відбитті ударів російських терористів по наших портах на Одещині. Слава усім, чия сміливість та ефективність стає силою України, спільною силою нашого народу. І хай буде вічною та світлою пам'ять усіх, хто бився заради нашої держави та віддав своє життя, щоб Україна жила. Сьогодні Україна згадує захисників Донецького аеропорту, однією з тих битв, які визначили нашу сучасну історію. Українці сильніші, ніж будь-які обставини. Ми маємо усі усвідомлювати цю свою силу, і ми маємо перемогти у цій війні. Заради свого народу, заради своєї держави, заради того, щоб російське зло назавжди запам'ятало, що ніколи і нічого воно більше не здобуде. Слава Україні!
And they say chivalry is dead. I tell you what, chivalry is not dead. It's living on in Zelensky. Zelensky! Sorry. What are we talking about here? I tell you what, guys, it's seriously it's going off. I mean, the Middle East is certainly turning into a goddamn hot pocket, as I put in the text. The Middle East is turning crazy, and Ukraine is not doing too good. See, that's the thing right there. That's true. I mean, Ukraine's a bit more than a teddy bear, but in definition, what a child goes to bed with, the child goes to bed with a teddy bear, because the teddy bear is supposed to protect the child. And that's the wolf right there. The teddy bear is supposed to protect the child, and that's Europe. Going to sleep all comfy and all that stuff, so the teddy bear takes care of the goddamn wolf. You know, all big and got about. Yeah. I mean, you know. It's not that fucking hard. They act like it's all hard and stuff. Oh, what about our money? What about our equipment? Can we if we send too much equipment, we won't have anything our own. Fuck it. Because if you send your fucking equipment to the fucking front lines of Ukraine will use it to defeat the Russians, and you won't have to use it. But you have to use it if you're going to war with Russia. So either way, you're gonna fucking use it. So why not just use it now and don't have to fucking spend your children's lives on it, you fucking morons. Sorry. I gotta calm down. Out the window on the tree branch. Oh yeah. Oh my god. I gotta calm down. Look at that. There are gaps in the Russian air defense in Moscow and St. Petersburg. Air Force spokesperson Yuri Ignat said the Russians have concentrated air defense forces in Crimea and the front line, but removed them from regions of the Russian Federation. The fact that they have saturated their line of contact with them is 100% the fact. The Crimea is saturated is that how you say it? Saturated or yeah, is 200%. But you see that the rest of the Russian territory is not saturated with air defense systems or sortated. I don't know. It's a bad translation. There's generally a passage there. Moscow St. Petersburg bunkers will be more or less protected by something, but Ukraine-made drones fly to Moscow St. Petersburg and other oil depots. This is a very good sign. See, it is a good sign. Tell you what, these bad boys right here would take these things right here. By the way, Russia can't produce them. They can't. They seriously cannot. Well, they can, but it takes them a very long time to produce. Because of the sanctions, because of the things that they need to produce them. And also, another thing, things they otherwise can't produce that we've been talking about a while, sort of, the more heavy stuff the Ukrainians take out, I'm not talking about equipment, military equipment, I'm talking about, sort of oil deports and stuff like that. You got to think, it would take the Russians a while to repair stuff like that. It does, and they can't. They don't have the equipment. Much of Russia ran on Western equipment. Other than that, by the way, planes. Russia has lost 300-something planes, 320-something planes. They can't produce much more of their modern planes because their modern planes take up a lot of equipment that they don't seriously have. It's a long, complicated process. The people that usually do it, many of them probably either sent to war or sent out flying. So they still have a lot of planes left in terms of a little bit older planes, but they don't have that many new planes. I'm telling you, they don't. This is see that's Russia right now. So I fucked around and now I'm finding out. I fucked around and now I'm finding out why I shouldn't be fucking around. By the way, I don't know if you saw a video, but there are Chinese volunteers in Ukraine right now. There are Chinese volunteers fighting in Ukraine against Ukrainians, obviously, but they're on the Russian side. Okay, here we have it, guys. The Biden administration have reportedly now agreed with the U.S. defense officials that the need for large-scale, sustained military operations against the Houthi terrorist group in western Yemen, following 10 days of missile airstrike, which has failed to end the Houthi attacks on commercial shipping on the Red Sea and Gulf of Aden. Officials have stated they do not expect for the operation to drag on for years like previous wars in Iraq or Afghanistan, but that they will not have an end date set for the operation. There you have it. There you have it. The Biden administration has now agreed with the U.S. defense officials on a need for a large-scale, sustained military operations against the Houthi terrorist group in western Yemen. I'm not making it up. This is not just a random person. This is Oint's defender. This guy, some people say he's wrong sometimes, but usually he's pretty right. And that's it. I mean, guys, that's it. I mean, there's no other way to put it, guys. That's it. I mean, So, yeah. They said that officials have stated that they do not expect for the operation to drag on for years, like in wars in Iraq. So they're saying, like previous wars, they're calling it a war, but they will not have an end date set for the operation. That's war. It's war, guys. This is war. A large-scale, sustained military operation against the Houthi terrorist groups in western Yemen. Whether it will be ground forces or air or full-scale air attacks, I'm not aware yet, but this is it. Happy hunting. Listen. This is one report. I couldn't tell you if this is true or not, but I seriously doubt the factor that they're gonna be wrong. That you know, he'd put out a statement like that and it being wrong. But I will wait for some other ones to verify it before I say it's completely right. But I mean, why would he? I mean, it looks like a very lengthy one. Not a lot of other people putting anything out right now. I'm just getting like 8 hours ago kind of things. Check out people that follow. Yeah, that is it. What's it say? As Houthis. Oh, Washington Post. Right. Okay, it's so the thing about listen, I'm not gonna enter email. I'm not no. Okay. I'm not gonna read the article because I'm not gonna do this. I'm not no. But the Washington Post. His source is the Washington Post. By the way. His source is the Washington Post. I mean, it doesn't get more. Doesn't get a lot more serious than that. I tell you what. See if anybody else has put it out. Maybe Vicegrad. See if he's gonna verify it. I mean, I'm gonna check out if Vicegrad is gonna verify it. No, nothing from Vicegrad. Anybody else putting anything out here? It's just one report for now, but it's from the Washington Post, which is one thing that makes it pretty serious. One thing that makes it serious, guys, is of course the point it's from, as I said before, the Washington Post. I mean, I'm just in disbelief right now, actually. This is, I mean, if it's true. Multiple social media platforms, including X/Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, down or not working in Pakistan. Apparently, Pakistan's been cut off. They don't want them. They don't want them. Why is no one posting about this right now? Seriously, I'm not getting anything. I mean, in response to what has happened today, this doesn't surprise me. I mean, listen, in response to what's happened today, let's just, think about that for a second. And in response to what's happened today, it doesn't surprise me necessarily that this is something that could be happening or is at least about to happen, because, I mean, they obviously have to do some kind of, yeah. In more news, Russia wants to portray NATO exercise as provocation. Russia is conducting an information operation to portray as provocation the NATO defense exercise Steadfast Defender 2024, which responds to Russian aggression against Ukraine and Russian threats against NATO members. ISW continues to believe that Putin invaded Ukraine in 2022 not to protect Russia from an unrealistic NATO threat, but to weaken the ultimately destroy NATO. Right. So ISV, I don't know who that is, but apparently Russia is going to take it as a provocation, like one of those red lines, right? One of those really big red lines. Local residents of Tula, Russia, report on social media about an explosion at the Shevolensky valve plant on the largest enterprise in Russian defense industry. We're awaiting official confirmation from local social media. Here you have it. These are pictures from a very large defense infrastructure in Russia being attacked. This is a video. We're not completely sure about this just yet, but we are certainly looking into that. Lukashenko says Belarus received Iskander missile systems from Russia. Those are nuclear missile systems. The Iskander, or a ballistic nuclear or something like that. I don't know, but yeah. I mean, I'm not hearing anybody else say this right now. I'm not hearing anybody else saying that the U.S. is about to go to war, but I heard, the only one I've heard by now say it is Oin's Defender. He could be wrong. You don't know. But it, I'm not, saying he could not be wrong. I'm just saying, yeah. I'm waiting for official command. I'm going to go to U.S. Central Command. U.S. Central Command has not posted anything about this yet. It's interesting. I mean, I'm not hearing anybody else say that the U.S. has authorized any kind of actions against the Houthi terrorists. It doesn't necessarily surprise me if they did, but it just seems a little, I don't know. It seems a little blunt, doesn't it? I mean, that would be a war. I mean, that's, that would be a war. Okay, I will address this. I will address this right now because there's a lot of people putting this up right now. Fascist salute legal at rallies unless it threatens public order, says Italy High Court. So this picture right here is from Italy, and you can see a lot of people doing the Roman salute. And yes, it's called the Nazi salute, but it's also called the Roman salute. The Romans used to do it themselves. The Romans saluted. So we're talking way back in time. The Romans saluted like this. They saluted like this. And this is a annual gathering. This is apparently an annual gathering. I don't know if it's to commemorate what happened in the 1940s or if it's simply something of a tradition of theirs. But I don't believe it's, people like, oh, it's a fascist or the fascists are rising up again or stuff like that. No, listen, it's a thing that happens pretty much. I think it's every year. I'm not aware if it's every year, but I think it's not. It's not what you think it is. It's not, the bad side. People think it is. All of a sudden, we're gonna have, all kinds of things going on. It's an interesting route, right? Looks like there has been potentially been a targeted assassination in Syria in Syria this morning. Dictator Lukashenko of the modern Belarus SSR thanked the Kremlin for the help last year, said that Belarus received Iskander missile systems with nuclear warheads. Oh, it doesn't have English subtitles. I can't show you the video, goddammit. I'll repost it. I can show you the video, but it's not going to do much difference when I can't really. I mean, there's no English subtitles, so how would I do that? All right, so okay. Apparently, I can get on the Washington Post on my phone. The Biden administration is crafting plans for a sustained military campaign targeting the Houthis in Yemen after 10 days of strikes failed to halt the group's attacks on maritime commerce, stalking concerns among some officials that an open-end operation could derail the war-ravaged country's fragile peace and pull Washington into an unpredictable Middle Eastern conflict. The White House convened senior officials on Wednesday to discuss options for way headed on the administration involving response to Iranian-backed movement, which has vowed to continue attacking ships of Iranian, peninsula, despite near daily operations to destroy Houthi radar missiles and drones. On Saturday, U.S. Central Command announced its latest strikes on anti-ship missiles that was prepared for launch. The deepening cycle of violence is a setback to President Biden's goal for steaming spillover hostilities triggered by Israel's war against Hamas in the Gaza Strip. Unscoring the threat, Iran on Saturday blamed Israel for a strike on Syrian capital Damascus that killed 5 Iranian military advisors. The Israeli military declined to comment. In Iraq. An attack on An al-Assad air base, which hosted Iraqi and U.S. troops, left one Iraqi soldier seriously injured, according to the Defense Department. Officials in Iran-linked faction said that it was responsible. Right. It's oh my god, it's long. All right, I'm not gonna read this whole thing. It's a really long article. I'm not gonna read the whole thing. I'm just not gonna read that whole article. As far as I understand, what's happening right now is that they're not going to war right now, but they're crafting or drafting plans for the potentiality of a large-scale conflict in the Middle East. However, as we usually concern, they are not wanting to convene this action because it could potentially spill over to a larger conflict. So yes, I think we are heading towards a serious escalation point, but not necessarily the factor that we are heading for large scale conflict just yet. But we are definitely heading for the fact that they are drafting plans for a large scale conflict or military operation, large scale military operation. But, of course, they have fears of it spilling over to, bigger problems. And that makes sense. So, that's certainly, Orange Defender might have put it a bit blunt. We're not heading to war just yet, but the Americans are, Joe Biden and his administration are drafting plans to convene some kind of war plan. That's as far as I understand right now. So, that's not amazing. That's not amazing, is it? Because that could certainly put a regional conflict to start, and even more on civil unrest in the United States. Even though this war against the Houthis would be very justified, there would be a lot of civil unrest in the United States. And if you think inflation in the United States is bad now, wait till they go to war in the Middle East. Because holy shit, you're going to have to make a lot more money very soon if you want to survive in the U.S. Pretty much all over. I'm not joking. You think I am? I'm not. Right now. The Russian Federation brought Scott Ritter, a foreign expert who was convicted of pedophilia, to occupied territory of Kherson region, who is used for their own propaganda purposes. This is stated to stop the study of whatever. Scott Ritter, the convicted pedophilia, is in Russian-held territory, and I will tell you what, it's very, very likely that he's a Russian supporter because most pedophilias are probably supporters of Russia. They're the only people that allow them to do what they want to do, to enact their dreams, right? Fucking pedophiles. How the fuck do you have Scott Ritter as anything in any form of respect, as any form of expert or anything, you know? Yeah, how? Don't get it. I don't get it. Doesn't make sense. He's a fucking pedophile. I mean, that's great. Oh, Arnold Schwarzenegger sold for €270,000 a watch, which cost him to be detained at customs. The money will go to charity. Blade writes that the Adumas Penguin watch was especially special for the actor. A total of 20 such watches were produced in the world. So he sold his watch to put it to charity. And this man right here, I always tell you something. Arnold, he's the only guy that, he's one of those celebrities that I do like. I also happen to like Sylvester Stallone, and he's there's a lot of celebrities that I do like. A lot of celebrities that I do like, but there's a lot of celebrities that I completely hate, you know. It is funny that they're coming out with this. I mean, I read this earlier here, but it's weird. Ukraine will defeat it within weeks or month if U.S. halts aid. The White House officials warn members. Oh, so that's what they said. Okay, so Ukraine will be halted if the U.S. halts aid. Right. I thought they said they were going to be losing within weeks if from now on. I was like, what the fuck? So the White House official warned members of Congress about this, the embassy wrote. According to them, Ukraine will run out of some air defense and artillery in the coming weeks. Yeah. Well, then get off your fucking asses and send them some goddamn equipment. Why don't you do that instead of just fucking continue to bigger? Putin is riding on his high horse right now because he believes that the United States won't give them any more things. And that's true. If the United States doesn't get over their fucking asses and stop being so goddamn bitches. Well, not everybody in the United States. I'm talking about the fucking lawmakers. The fucking stupid lawmakers who are keeping the aid back. I mean, let's be honest. They are stupid lawmakers. They are. I don't know how many of you are from the... They can have yours. You don't care? Fair enough. You as a weather. Listen, I tell you what, I don't really have too much tutorials here, but we will watch some weather here. A pretty disturbing cold, and now, confirmation here, at least 58 died in extreme cold weather in the U.S., Sky News Australia. But, of course, we could watch that as well there, but there we do have this one. Let's check this out first. I definitely want to hear about this. Just got to get this ad over with. Gonna get that ad over with. It's 4-second. And there you go.
At least 58 people across the 10 United States have died in extreme cold weather.
70 million under wind chills alerts in the U.S. And I tell you what, if the Australians are reporting on it, you know it's serious because they don't do shit.
Around 10 brutal storms and cold air is forecast to sweep the country this weekend.
Watch you stop right here, big one.
American Airlines
about this right here, guys.
With the help
like
of firefighters.
serious fucking winds. We're talking minus degrees in the U.S. right now. It is very fucking serious.
On Thursday.
And the U.S., their infrastructure is not built for it. I'm sorry, but you don't have infrastructure built for this shit. The why you don't is baffles me still. I mean, I'm sorry. I mean, I have to be blunt about this.
After this aircraft slid off a snowy taxiway in Rochester,
oh my
New
God.
York. Just one example of the
American Eagle.
dangerous travel conditions expected in
Not so much Eagle anymore.
Extreme weather conditions have killed at least 58 people across 10 states in the last week. Major cities in the Northeast are
I
expected.
mean, it could be a lot worse. 58 people across the states. It could be a lot worse, but it is not funny at all, But yeah, I mean, that's the serious thing. Most of them are very likely homeless. Very likely homeless.
Expecting heavy snow in the coming days, with Philadelphia preparing for its first major snowstorm in 2 years. Workers there trying to mitigate slick streets with salt.
The ice didn't melt on them, even though we treated it. So we're out there treating it again, and we'll continue treating it.
On the West Coast, Oregon is under a state of emergency due to the ongoing severe ice storm. Oregonians aren't the only ones suffering. Another blast of cold air is sending temperatures into a tailspin.
Oh, look at that. -6 degrees. -6 Fahrenheit right there. That's Fahrenheit right there.
Alert stretching from the U.S.-Canada border to northern Florida. Meanwhile, FEMA is
But the problem isn't necessarily the Fahrenheit. I mean, it's not the temperature directly. It's the wind chills. Wind can make it seem much colder, and the wind chills have in some state. It's getting a bit better now, but it has hit like -40. The wind chills has been really bad, and the wind chills are still bad.
The way it responds
Bad.
to natural disasters, announcing an immediate $750 in assistance to people impacted by extreme
Look
weather,
at that as well.
which can include storms, hurricanes, and tornadoes.
Camper
the
cities.
overhaul of FEMA's system comes after years of criticism that disaster survivors have to jump through hoops to access assistance. These changes will take effect in March.
These changes will take effect in March. Thank you. We'll watch that one as well.
Welcome back to Guided Meditation. Let's start off by...
Listen, I'll tell you what.
As
We're not going to watch...
nationwide-
Don't worry, we're not going to watch this too much. But we're just going to watch this as well. Because I think this is quite important to note as well. This is... I mean, I got a lot of people coming from the U.S. to watch this. So.
From the latest blast of winter.
And this is something I
This
talked
morning,
about before.
millions
As well, it's important because it is news. We're talking about 70 million, maybe above, about 100 million or something people is in the state of emergency right now. I mean, it is quite serious. I mean, we have people who are really, really, was $408. God damn, that's a lot of money. Holy shit.
Bracing for even more dangerous weather. Roadways from coast to coast treacherous. This car in New York slamming into a snowplow while trying to pass a truck.
Yeah.
And frightening moments in Rochester.
I mean, that one
when an
right there
American
that was
Airlines plane
bad.
Skidded off a taxiway because
To be fair,
of a
right?
frightening moment.
It's his fucking stupid
to
idea.
coast treacherous. This car in New York
I mean, what the fuck was he doing?
He
drove out. He saw this guy coming. It's not that. I mean, I don't know if you saw the guy coming, but you don't do this because you got two cars you got two cars going, right? The normal law is that you don't drive out and then do this and then drive in between two cars. You don't do that. You wait. And then this shit happens. I mean, the snow helped him, right? But,
And frightening moments in Rochester
Stupid
when
idiot.
an American Airlines plane skidded off a taxiway because of snowy conditions.
Aircraft is off the H2 and he is over the whole shore.
Emergency crews rushing to get 53
It could've been a
people
lot worse,
safely
right?
off the aircraft. Parts of western New York blanketed by
Look at
more
that.
than 5 feet of lake effect snow.
You think Washington is going to march across the Manhattan or whatever that lake in New York where he marched across? This is looking like it's going to start freezing again.
Oh,
I know it's not that one, but
and shuttering schools all week in Buffalo.
There's so much snow here, you can't even tell that's a car behind you.
No, you can't really tell that's a car.
Nearly 50 people have died over the last week as a result of the perilous
Doc
weather,
is wearing fucking shoes.
including 3 family members after a power line fell onto their car in icy Portland,
Oh
Oregon.
my god.
The only survivor, a 9-month-old baby. A witness rescuing the child.
I just grabbed the baby, I pulled him up, and I walked him up the hill.
16 people have
Goddamn, what a goddamn hero there. Holy shit. I mean, that's good. But wow. That is serious there. And I'm being honest with you. I say this again, I say it again. The Delaware, yeah. I tell you what, this United States infrastructure, I said it before, I say it again. This doesn't happen in Europe. This doesn't happen in Scandinavia. We don't have power lines that fall over because we get a lot of snow. Okay? It's just, I wish they would spend a little bit of money mean, the state, you know, the state, not only just the state, but the government would spend a little bit of money improving the goddamn infrastructure. This shit like this doesn't happen.
Died in Tennessee alone, which is now.
Oh yeah, the Delaware. That's right. 86. 25th of December, 1776. Thanks, Google. Yeah, Delaware. That's right. Delaware.
As sub-zero wind chills and more snow sets in across the country. But some moments of hope and daring rescues, including one by a four-legged friend.
Call her!
In Michigan, after first responders were unable to reach a man who fell through the ice on a lake, his dog Ruby bringing over a rescue disc. The man eventually pulled to safety.
And looking at flight disruptions across the country,
a goddamn
already
hero
this
dog
morning,
right there.
There are more than 600 flights canceled. That's almost as many as.
I mean, you know, it's funny. Now, it's not funny, right? But I just feel like every single time shit like this happens, there's always an American hero, isn't there? There's always somebody saving someone in America. Like that's like this resourcefulness. And I will say to you, I've never met people around the world who are more resourceful than the Americans. Okay? You guys are resourceful. I've never taken that away from you. You guys are resourceful and you know how to survive and you know how to help each other. I will not take that away from you. You guys are goddamn amazing at that. And that's something we always say. And, you know, it is definitely, all this is the government's fault. Not the weather, but the infrastructure. You know, it's like it hasn't been improved in 100 years. So, yeah. I mean, but, yeah, I mean, it is sometimes funny, but it's not funny. But, you know, you get what I'm trying to say here. Don't know why I said that, but here we go. Delays, 818, and cancellation, 621. I mean, nobody's going anywhere right now.
As we saw in all of yesterday, and you may remember the Bills game was postponed last weekend. Officials are hoping this Sunday's playoff game will have a different fate. They're calling on locals to come help shovel the snow. Savannah, maybe that's my next step.
Oh, we got large fires here in... Oh, no. Thank you. We got large fires here in... A large fire at an oil thermal in St. Petersburg Oblast. St. Petersburg Oblast report Russia media. 2 explosions were heard before the fire. Check this out, guys. We got a fire in St. Petersburg. Is that an oil depot again? Oh my god, that is huge. Holy shit. I mean, he's standing quite far away, but you look at that fucking fire there. God damn. That's in Russia, by the way. This is in Russia, guys. Happy New Year's. It's a bit late to whole Happy New Year's. These guys probably forgot it. It's not New Year's anymore.
Exactly. The Bills, what do they call it? The Bills Mafia. Get those shovels out. That'll be fun. Team building exercise. Al's got his eye on this storm. What do you see?
That's right. And building on what Emily just said, there is a ground stop right now at Washington Reagan Airport, and they're expecting a ground stop or at least delays at LaGuardia in the next hour or so. 77 million people here in the Northeast, the Midwest, under winter weather advisory, storm watches, storm warnings. You can see now that snow starting to fill in on the radar from Washington, Atlantic City, starting to get into New York City, also back through the Mississippi River Valley. So this storm quickly accelerates off the East Coast. It's going to be a disruptive snow, mid-Atlantic, the Northeast, but the good news is it's a quick mover, so that'll get out of here. Our friends, though, along the eastern side of the Great Lakes, they're going to be suffering with strong winds, drifting snow, slippery travel. Snowfall amounts from South Bend, I'll see about 6 to 8 inches. Cleveland to Erie, also, as you get just to the north of Ithaca, New York.
Keeps going.
Appalachians, 6 to 8 inches of snow, 2 to 3 inches generally everywhere else. 59 million people under wind chill warnings, advisories, or watches all the way from the Gulf to the plains. Right now,
that's the thing right there. The wind chills are the worst part. Oh, we got Kansas right there, which is at minus 15 wind chills. You know, I mean, it's not great. I mean, this is, you know, in Billings. I don't know, you know, what's that, Washington? That Washington right there. Is that Washington or is that Washington or is that Washington? I don't know. You know what I know? Now, I know one thing, and I can tell you what it is. That state, that's Kentucky. Right? That's Kentucky. That's what I know. No, I don't know. I don't know, because I'm bad, because it's like, you know, it's like recognizing a square. I can't recognize a square. I just can't. I don't know why. Like countries that otherwise, you know, they have shapes. Like I can't recognize a square. I just can't. But, you know, I just don't know. I can't recognize a fucking square anymore. But I know that's Kansas because I've been talking about that a lot. Wichita, you know, like 15 minus degrees in Billings up here towards the northern part of America here. Wind chills of minus 21 and 24 and 10. This in Fahrenheit, of course, but that is a lot.
Like -5 in Chicago, 5 in Denver, -10 in
Chicago is very hit
Nashville.
lately.
You feel like 22 degrees, and look at these wind chills going into the weekend. On
Friday, minus 22. It doesn't, but it does go up here, as you can see. I mean, up in here in Rapid City, you can see it goes up to Sunday, goes up to 12, and it goes up to Sunday. It does appear like it's going to be better. So it does appear it's in some areas it's going to get a little bit better up towards Sunday. You see that right there. So you're looking at it doesn't matter what you doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. It's fine. So yeah, this one it's going to get better towards the Sunday, at least on the left side here, but still a little bit of a better. I mean, you can definitely see it's going to get better towards the Sunday, but still a little bit of a wind chills up there. But Sunday seems to be the day it's going to start to get better. Which is good because we've been waiting for that for a while, you know.
-14 in Chicago, -2 in Denver, -15 in Minneapolis, 4 degrees in Washington, D.C. But the good news is we are going to get a little bit of a break. But for today, -11 in Omaha, 15
a little bit of a break, he
Lexington,
says.
Feels like 13, and tomorrow
we're gonna get a little bit of a break, he says.
Bitter cold continues. But again, what we are going to be seeing is a warm-up. We'll look at that coming up next week, but we got to get there first.
All right, with 30 degrees.
Listen to what he just said. Listen to what he just said.
And tomorrow, that bitter cold continues. But again, what we are going to be seeing is a warm-up. We'll look at that coming up next week, but we got to get there first.
All right, with 30 degrees.
I don't know if he's saying that what we're having now is a warm-up, or if he's saying that next week it's going to be a warm-up, like it's going to be warmer in the next week. If that's what he's saying, that's good. If he's saying that this is a warm-up to something that's going to be happening next week, then I don't know. But this is, I mean, it's serious now, but I don't know if he's saying it's going to be a warm-up in the next week. You know, but we'll have to see about that. Yeah, good times there. I got a video here for you. Just found here. Video of a Howitz missile strike on Greek-owned cargo vessel Sographia. This is what protesters in West support when they chant Yemen make us proud. Turn another ship around. 24 crew members were on board when the missile hit. The crew members running there. I mean, it's ridiculous, you know. It's seriously, it's ridiculous. And yeah. I mean, you're supporting that, in which, you know, yeah. A small asteroid is expected to impact north. Sorry. A small asteroid is expected to impact northeastern Germany near the capital Berlin. It's just over half an hour. 21st of January 2024, 023:33 UTC. It will create a brief fireball. Object size is around 1 meter. Temporary designation of object is SAR. Okay, I don't know all these words here. I don't know if he's gonna. I think this is the area in where he says there's a chance of it hitting. Or is he saying this is how much it's going to... I can't tell if this is how much he says it's going to spread. Or if this is the area where it's expected to hit. A small asteroid is expected to impact. And so it'll create a brief fireball. Object size is around 1 meter. It will create a brief fireball. Predicted impact of small asteroid in 60 minutes. Fireballs in the sky. Oh, like 60 minutes. So it's going to be a very small one. Right. So a small one. It's going to be great a brief. Okay. You live in Germany, watch out. There's going to be fucking asteroids heading over the goddamn Earth. If you couldn't get bad enough. Okay, asteroids falling down. Alright, small ones. Not big ones. Not so big ones, small ones. Russia conducting information operation to distort NATO's Steadfast Defender 2024 exercise. As NATO gears up for the Steadfast Defender 2024 exercise, Russia has been engaged in information campaigns seeking to cast at NATO actions as provocation. The Institute in Study of War in the last update. So what I think Russia is trying to do, and I'll explain it here in terms that you might need to understand. Russia obviously is looking for every opportunity to make its people realize that NATO is the enemy, right? That's Putin is trying to make NATO the enemy. Russian people believe NATO is the enemy. So if Russia is continuously spamming the talk about how, NATO is holding this big exercise or some kind of provocation with 90,000 soldiers, and they spin it around and say to the Russian people, NATO is stationing 90,000 soldiers on our border, which is a truth in some manners, then of course that's going to help, Russian war in the support of the Russian war, because the Russians, they don't get to know anything else. I mean, the Russians, they know more, but they can't necessarily. I mean, a lot of people who are, I would say, brainwashed, right, would believe it, would eat it up, So it definitely helps Putin's cause in making NATO the enemy. But of course, NATO is not the enemy. Of course. 10 a.m. Doomsday Clock announcement, January 24th, 10 a.m. Just an FYI. Oh, thank you. Yeah. I mean, that's going to be interesting, right? But listen, I mean, I don't really listen to all that. Oh. UK says 2 Royal Navy ships involved in collisions in Bahrain. Just amazing parking right there. The Royal Navy has existed for what? I don't know. 1,000 years. The Royal Navy is around 1,000 years old. It's very old. You think about in that time, they've had modern warship, since 1930. So think about that time to realize that, backing up a ship into another ship probably won't do so great. And also, it doesn't help that they're doing it by Iran, who is not necessarily an enemy, but not definitely supportive of the reason why they're there. Doesn't help that the Royal Navy is now coming in with their ships backing into each other in an area where they're trying to show strength. I think what happened was probably some kind of malfunction. The ship could have probably done some kind of backspinning, or they could have tried to set off and they set off in the wrong direction, or could have also been a malfunction. You never know, right? I'm betting on a malfunction. No, the people running. I mean, they're not sailing forward, so I think it's some kind of malfunction, probably. And this guy right here, is like, oh shit, gotta go to work. Look at that guy's walk. He's like, oh fucking hell, what the fuck did you do? Come on, man, I gotta fix this shit also. God damn it. Fuck you guys. I just got off work. I just got off. The guy coming in right there. God damn it, you motherfuckers. I just got off work. I was about to go home. Like, you fucking idiots. I don't think it has a turn signal. The guy's going to be clearing toilets for the rest of his time in service. Yeah, he's certainly probably not going to be the captain of a ship much longer. Or probably wasn't the captain's orders. Oh, it's a malfunction, right? I mean, it happens. But it's going to be a little bit of expensive to fix because he did ram it at quite a speed, didn't he? He came in quite hard. So not a great time. Not a great time for anybody. But there you have it. That is there you go. German farmers. Ukraine membership would spell an end of EU farming system. I don't think it's going to be that serious, guys. Really what we just need to do is just focus on sharing the market equally. I mean, if you know, I get their issue that they think Ukraine sort of is going to pickpocket them in terms of production methods and production value, but at this point in time, you're just being a bit selfish. You know, you as a farmer, you're not being given as much as you want, and I get that. A lot of farmers nowadays, they're not being given what they're worth. I mean, we have farmers around the world in the EU and in the US and especially in the EU and England, for example, who are struggling to pay the bills and to function as a farmer. And I've said this before. I say it again. I don't want to eat things that comes from that's been on a ship for two fucking months or 2 weeks. You know, like it sailed from fucking India and now it's in the EU. Oh, but we froze it. No, I'd rather want it coming directly from our country. I think local produced, country produced, you know, nationally produced. Vegetables and beef and things like that, it's much more healthy for us. It really is much more healthy for us. And they're afraid that the market prices would go so far up, you know, and that Ukraine would outcompete them, and you know. But if anything, if Ukraine was to be a member, I think it would mean the prices would become lower because there'd be more than there is now, which definitely would mean that what prices the farmers have seen now, the farmers have seen increased prices. A lot of people are like, you know, why do they want this? But you have to think, since Ukraine has been under siege by Russia, and Russia has taken off and destroyed a lot of its agricultural land, a lot of the corn that used to come out of Ukraine has not been coming out. Therefore, the market has needed a boost in corn. The corn that the farmers were producing before Ukraine, you know, they sort of had a price that was equal towards what you may have if Ukraine comes back into the EU. But now there's a more of a demand for corn and agricultural projects that Ukraine is not producing anymore. Ukraine was a massive producer. So now they're seeing prices go up. But that also means that the farmers, because there's a higher demand, get paid more. And that's what they're missing. They're afraid that if Ukraine comes back in, their prices will drop again because there'll be less of a demand. And that's true. But it also seems a bit counterproductive, doesn't it? But it is too. It's like that's how it is. You have to do the math yourself. I mean, that's what I think the problem is. But I think you could easily fix the problem by just saying, well, listen, we'll make sure to give you more money. We'll make sure that we put up a system that benefits you much more than it did before. We need such a system. You know, farmers has been feeding our nations for hundreds of years and thousands of years. So I think it's important for everyone that we seriously do focus on giving these farmers what they deserve. They are feeding our nations, but we're not. You know, we're disrespecting them on a very high level every single day. So yes, I do believe that what they're protesting about is Ukraine coming into EU, which would make prices drop to a point where corn would not become worthless, but it would become so much it wouldn't be worth as much as it is now. I mean, if there's less demand, you have to think about this. If you have one watch, there's only one watch, you only made one watch, that watch is going to cost a lot of money, right? Why? Because there's only one of it in the world. But if there's 7 billion of them, that means there's you know, if there's 7 billion of them, or sorry, 8 billion. There's 8 billion people on Earth right now. If there were 8 billion and there were enough watches to give everyone on planet Earth one watch, then it would only cost, it would cost nothing. Because there's not just one. It's not a rare item. It doesn't have value. There's so much of them, So you buy one, you can buy one for $1, because every single person can give away $1. Well, you made 7 billion, but they're not worth a lot, right? Or you could value one watch as 7 billion because there's only one at them. It's a hypothetical number right there, but that's the reality. Right now, the corn, it costs a lot of money, right? Because Ukraine's not producing, so we are paying more money to the farmers, and farmers are getting more money because the corn is in higher supply. It requires more. It doesn't require more to make, but it requires we require more of it, and therefore the farmers are getting more money. I think you get what I'm trying to point at here. I think that's what they're missing. I mean, I'm be honest with you, but that's where we are right now. Money's being paid. Oh my god. Why is he doing that? In the middle of winter, this Russian is being paid to... Why is he cutting wheat? Why is he cutting the... What? It's January. Nobody cuts anything in January. Nobody cuts any nature in January. There's no reason to. Why would you do that? The trees don't have leaves on it. They don't grow out. Like, what would you... Oh my god, I mean, that's the stupidity. He's being paid for that, and he has a vest on. He's being paid to do that. I mean, how fucking out of touch is the Russians? How fucking out of touch are they? I mean, to be fair, we don't know if he did it for some kind of reason, but in reality, I really don't think so. I really, really don't think that you're being paid for anybody. Oh, here we have it. Oh, yeah. Well, I just read about this. I literally just read about it. I just talked about this. This is above Germany, near the capital of Germany. Oh, my God. Is it because there's a video playing? Yeah, it's because that video in the background was playing. Check it out. That's an asteroid. That's the asteroid. That's the asteroid. That's the one I just talked about. That's the one I just talked about. Hey, Joey getting carried away? Probably. I just talked about this. Look at that. That's just happened. It just 2 minutes ago this was reported. God damn. All right. It's a kind of a big object. It obviously blew up in the burned up in the sky. So just talked about that there, but that just happened. Great time. It seemed big. It was 1 meter, yeah, but it was 1 meter long. But those things, those things evaporate in the sky before they hit anything. They completely burn up. It's kind of like when you have re-entering of astronauts into the atmosphere. There's a kind of I don't know why. I really don't know why. You shouldn't ask me why, but I think the speed they're traveling to, and then all of a sudden they enter some kind of... I don't know. I don't know why they burn up. I just know they do. I don't know why they burn up. You shouldn't ask me. That's not my clever. I'm not very clever with that. Give me some lottery numbers. Well, I think you have to see it in person. I think you have to see it in person for that to be true. But yeah, go buy some lottery numbers. Without sufficient military support, I will run out of ammunition and Russia will win the war. Enough talking about Ukraine. Our leader is facing an election. We want to humiliate Biden to show his weakness. We'll try to sacrifice you. Don't get upset. Yeah, that's exactly what's happening. That's exactly what's happening. God damn. I've never seen anything more likely on that one. It's trying to sink Ukraine to win elections. Oh my God, you have pirates going up for election.
And for whatever reason people come up with, they don't want it anymore. That's going to be a pretty tough position to stand by. So,
you have pirates now. Pirate Texans. Yeah, it's true. It's true. Blah, blah, blah. Only... Talking about foreign influence while having a face like this. Wow. Only white people have the privilege of talking about influence. What is that? OPS absurd or oops targeting Americans is a trash instrument from trash people. Well, yeah, no, I certainly agree. Not just white people have the opinions of influence. I mean, everybody has an opinion. Everybody has to influence. Has the option to talk about whatever they want to talk about, and that's true. I mean, that's ridiculous, right? I mean, the factor that people are like, oh, only Americans and only Europeans have the knowledge to talk about, sort of worldwide issues, which is ridiculous, because that's not, what you might want. Drone attack reported this evening at the Novochek oil and LNG terminal at the port of Ust-Luga, Leningrad Oblast. The facility is currently burning. Well, I thought that was at the St. Petersburg. Leningrad. Listen, Leningrad right there. Was that the same area? I don't know. But there's certainly a fire there again. That's also in Russia, by the way. Just want to say that. But, burn, baby, burn. Oh, Ukraine just turned red here. Yeah, air raids going off in Ukraine. Can you hear that? You guys can hear that, right? No, I don't think you can hear that. It's too low. Yeah, you're not going to be able to hear much right now. Air raids are going off in the background right now. You can't really hear it on the... You turn it all the way up? No, not even to turn it all the way up, you can hear it. You can, if you go to the live stream, you can hear it. But it's right here. Half of Ukraine just lit up right now. That's a good chunk of Ukraine just lit up right now. Some kind of attack is happening. God damn it, I'm not gonna watch that. Mega patriots. Europeans, huh? Well, maybe you should fix your problems instead of worrying about ours. Goddamn, great spelling, dude. Yeah, I'm dyslexic, but even though I'm dyslexic, I can still sort of, you should take away the H on that one. I mean, Jesus Christ. It's okay if you're foreign giving English spelling lessons to mega patriots. No. I do know. Listen, one thing Americans hate the most is when Europeans talk about their problems. And I know you guys probably don't like it when I'm a European talking about your problems. That's okay. You don't have to like it. You don't have to like it. You can still be friends. You don't have to like it. All I'm saying is, I seriously think you guys need free healthcare and a better infrastructure. Is that sort of... I mean, I know you don't like me interfering with your policies and all that stuff, but I think, that's pretty much everybody else's agenda in the United States. Free healthcare and better infrastructure. Better system overall. I mean, that's what people say to me. That's what people say they want. So, yeah. Mill puncher? The fuck? Still some error rates going on. I don't know exactly. Usually there's like a symbol here that tells us what is going on, but yeah. And we could have the military and free healthcare. There is a way. 100% you can have the military while having healthcare. You're the richest country on earth. You have a lot of fucking money. Okay? Alright. How much would it cost to have universal health care in the United States? Throughout the mechanism detailed above, we predict a single-payer healthcare system would require $3.34 trillion annually, figure 3, $450 billion less than current national healthcare expenditures. Okay, there you have it. So it costs $3 trillion. Yet that's $458 billion less than what you're currently spending on national healthcare expenditures. So, Bernie Sanders has said publicly that the economists estimate Medicare for all would cost somewhere between $30 trillion and $40 trillion over 10 years. That's just not fucking true, is it? It's not gonna cost you 40 to 30 trillion over 10 years to have free healthcare. Used by nonpartisan Urban Institute at Washington D.C. think tanks put the figure at 32 to 43 trillion put it in the 42 to 34 trillion range. Why? I just can't believe that. Even though you think it's gonna cost that much. $30 trillion for the United States is over 10 years is not a lot of money. I'm telling you, they could have the United States military and healthcare at the same time while still saving money. I'm telling you right now, you could literally save money having better healthcare, or at least having free healthcare. You could save money on it. It's true. It's proven fact. I know you hate me right now, but I just don't know why. I'm seriously. I think it's true. I really do. Trick shots. Yeah. No, but yeah. You should be able to. You really should. I'm telling you. You should. If the U.S. had a single-payer universal healthcare system in 2020, nearly 212,000 American lives would have been saved that year, according to a new study. In addition to the country would have saved 105 billion in COVID-19 hospitalization expenses alone. The United States is the only developed country without a system of universal health care. Yeah. Yeah, I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get why you don't have free healthcare. You literally save money having free healthcare. Like, it's been proven to the factor that you'd save more money having having free healthcare than you would not having it. But I'll stop talking. I'll stop talking. You know, in fear of in fear of doing anything. Oh my God! Is the United States using ChatGPT now? What is this? From day one, the administration moved swiftly to tackle our toughest challenges. Over 3 years, we've grown the economy from the middle out and the bottom up, lowered costs for families, and fought for freedom. We will keep working to deliver American people. They don't want to cure us. They just treat, if you cure me, I don't come back. Well, that's ridiculous, right? That's true, but that's ridiculous. Universal healthcare won't happen anytime soon here. It's too split down the middle. It certainly is. Here's one thing that I always take a look at. The factor is, the White House, which is not controlled by the Biden administration, from day one, this administration moved swiftly to tackle our toughest challenges. Over 3 years, we've grown the economy from the middle and from the middle out and bottom up, lowered costs for families, and fought for freedom. Like, I'm not gonna be honest with you. So here you have it. How much you need to earn to live in America in 2023. Overall, Americans need an average post-tax income of $68,499 to live comfortably in the U.S., according to recent data from Smart Asset. What is a good salary? Experience on educational backgrounds. However, the average salary nationwide in the U.S., according to Forbes, is $59,000. On the other hand, median household incomes in the U.S. was $70,000 in 2021. Okay. So, in 2021, the average salary was $70,000. Now, it's $59,000. What do you need to live? You need $68,000. Oh my God. I can't believe how great the American president is doing. Oh my God. What an amazing president you have. Yeah. Great economy. You've made great stride to strengthening the American people. Inflation is lower than ever. what is inflation in America? Sorry. U.S. inflation rate is at 3.35 compared to 3.14 last month and 6.45% last year. Now, I will say, yes, it's dropped. But this was also during Biden's administration, by the way. U.S. inflation rate is in percentage of which the chosen basket of goods and service purchases in the U.S. increased in the price overall. 3.4%. Here's why it matters. Inflation increased 3.4% in December 2020 from a year ago. Understanding what inflation is, why it matters, and how a handle can keep making financial decisions. U.S. good prices are now falling after a pandemic surge. Obviously, the inflation is falling, but it's not falling to a comfortable point where I would say I'm happy about it. I don't know if it's the inflation that's making the problems, but as far as I understand, living in the United States right now is not a fucking great time. Neither is it living in the European Union, but ain't that fucking bad. And I'm just tired of the Biden administration going all out and saying they're doing all great. I mean, it's sad because a lot of people in the United States right now who are not living fucking great lives. Okay, and I know I'm going on a limp here and going out and doing all kinds of stuff. Sorry, but I know I'm going out. I know I'm saying a lot of stuff, but honestly, it's because I'm concerned. Okay, I really am. Without the United States to afford regular groceries again, exactly. But also, from my point of perspective, guys, for the United States to be able to help us, it needs to be the shining star in the night sky. Because I want the United States to succeed. I want the people in the United States to live a good life. The reason why is we need it. We need that to exist so that we in the European Union can rely on not only the American protection, but also the American help in anything or any case. Now, for us to do that, that means the United States has to succeed, and the United States people have to be good. Now, I know I'm talking like I'm a fucking robot right now, but in long-term effect, if the United States isn't with the European Union or NATO, we're not shit, okay? Let's be honest here, guys. If the United States wasn't in NATO, the European Union and NATO wouldn't be fucking shit, okay? I'm serious. If the United States jumps out of NATO, we're not fucking shit. I mean, people say that, oh yeah, we could probably foot up a fight and all that. We could, but it's way less than what we'd be able to with the United States, and jumps January 1st again from 2.12 to a dozen to 4.22 a dozen this week. Yeah, for what's that, $4.22 for a basket of X. If and that's also point out here. Danish inflation rate, which is my country, has a high annual inflation in 2023. With only inflation print left, Danish inflation is on a course for an average of around 3.3 in 2023. This is markedly lower compared to last year's 7.7, but still very high in long-term perspective. Danish inflation has only been above 3% 2 times since 1990, 2008, and 2022. Yeah, because our fucking prime minister is not doing shit in terms of anything. But people say inflation, that's not that high and all that stuff. Groceries cost shit. It costs so much fucking money. You actually have to be earning quite a lot of money nowadays to be living a comfortable life. Most people in the United States are not earning $68,000 a fucking month. Okay, they're not, and that's post-tax. Okay, that's post-tax. That means you have to earn above that. You have to earn enough to live a comfortable life. You have to earn $68,000. What's that, a month, right? Or something like that? Maybe not a month, but what is it, annually or no, a month, right? Or I don't know. Is it? So there you have it, right? The American salary. Monthly payment is about $2,000, and that's 25th percentile. On average, is your annual salary of $58,000, which is way low than what you're supposed to be earning. This one is living in a comfortable life to 75% percentiles. It's a $5,708 a month. On average, people on average are earning $58,000. You're supposed to be earning $10,000 more to be able to live a comfortable life. On the percentiles, people below that, which is a lot of people, are earning nowhere near what you need to earn to live a comfortable life. So it's fucking shit, you know? I mean, living a good life, having a lot of jobs, it's great and all, but it's like it just doesn't. If it's not quality jobs, it's not a great time. That's what it is, you know?
It is.
And don't be racially offended, cause Whoopi done wrote them for me, okay?
Anyways, guys, I think you're a peasant. Well, listen, you're not. It's just the United States government being fucking stupid. That's what it is. You know? That's what it is. I'm a peasant. Proud. You're a proud peasant. But, you know. Anyways, guys, I think we're gonna end the stream here. We've been streaming for 2 hours now. We've pretty much gone through anything we could go through. I mean, there's a lot of other stuff probably coming out along the hours here. Gotta keep an eye on the United States going to war kind of thing. Maybe not. Haven't really seen anybody else talk about it, so we'll keep an eye on it. But yeah, so that's of course going out here, and we'll keep an eye on it. Blah blah blah. I'll see you guys tomorrow for another stream. Hopefully we can get that going. Alright, thank you. Yeah, you too. Thank you for stopping by, guys. Have a good night. I'll see you all tomorrow.